All right, here we go. Quick video for our $100 challenge that I want to start doing this week. I don't know if our entry will be today or not. I might wait up through Wednesday looking at the same trade. So um, here's the chart on SPY. Obviously, this has dropped significantly here this last week. So it's possible we get a bounce somewhere in here. So let me show you what my thoughts are on doing this. Because the problem is if you go $100 to 200 to 400 and you're doing out of the money spreads in order to get that 100% return, if you don't make it there, you lose 100%. So here's my strategy on if we don't get there, you're still at a break even. Okay, so here's how we're going to do that. Let's see if I can pull it up here on this. Okay, so I was looking at October 26th. Okay, so October 26th, we're going to see we got a $9.50 implied move, so 281 is definitely within that. Okay, so we're going to do a vertical spread here. Cost on that is right now trading at 44 on that vertical spread. So that gives you a setup for a good return. That could give you 100% return if you hold into expiration day. Okay. The problem is we get above that and early. To get 100%, you can't close this out earlier. Basically, it'd have to be deep in the money or near expiration day. So what happens is you kind of get nervous as you approach expiration. If it's close to your strikes, you may want to close early. So I also have a way to kind of ease that nerve just a little bit. So there's 44, and obviously if our price goes down a little bit today, if the trading range drops a little bit, this will be a little lower fill cost. So here's what we're going to do on this side. If you haven't, that's a vertical debit spread. That means you're paying money for that one. The credit spread is just the opposite. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell the strike down below at the 272. Okay. So we're going to sell that 272, but I don't want unlimited losses. So we're going to cap those at the 271. So that gives you a $100 max loss. Remember, we're only going to do one contract because I'm only risking $100 here. So now, obviously, if the price goes down on SPY today, this will increase in value. So the goal is if we get a little bit of a drop, that those two numbers will meet, and basically you'll have a free entry. So what that means is, obviously, for max profit, we need to be above our 281. Okay, so right in here is where we start getting in profit from 280 to 281. We need to be up here by October 26th. Okay, that gives it all this week, and next week the bounce and get back above that. I'd say fairly possible. We could also go lower. You also see here's where I have my limit, my order put in to buy at $1. So technically our risk is $101. We'll call that close enough. Okay. So what happens here is if we don't get above that, like not just for this trade, but for the next 5 trades, let's say we buy this out of money thing and it doesn't get there. If you go all in on this one trade and it never gets there, well, you're at zero again. So start over, right? So what this is going to do, if we can get our credit spread and our debit spread at about the same price, that means you have zero cost in the trade. That means this area right here, that means, we were wrong, it didn't get there. You're at a break even still. You keep the credit on this, that goes to zero. You're whatever your entry price was. That's why we're going to try for real low entry or zero entry fees. Okay. Now where your loss is if we're doing a directional trade to get up to here. Your loss is if it goes completely the opposite direction that we were planning, and it gets below this price here. Then you're at your $100 loss. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you got any questions.